Do something more creative. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wherever I go, please go with me. I feel peace inside. Every breath, peace bright. I know the joy of peace. I feel joy to relief. Every moment, love wakes up and peace is every step. Peace is every step. Peace is every. Well time.
Going to need a little bit more on those. The ones where I'm playing chords comes down. The ones where I'm playing the melody.
I have a good sense of that.
top, team. Top. Getting on the top.
Good morning. My name is Gene Langell, and it is my pleasure to greet you this morning and welcome you to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Okay, but first, if you have any of those electronic devices in your possession, please put them to sleep. Thank you. I want to call your attention to the current issue of Science of Mind magazine, and there are several articles in it. And in this is a beautiful little map of the world, and it's in the shape of a heart. And so this is kind of the comments I wanted to share with you this morning. Many of the articles deal with compassion, and it's a picture of the compassionate heart, which is defined as the consideration of the needs of others. The Dalai Lama says, compassion creates happiness for yourself and those around you. Another writer says the simple act of helping others creates happiness for yourself and those around you. Another simple act of helping someone else automatically improves one's mental health, and where you are in the reading. Helping others is contagious, and it's good for you. We are made to communicate, to interact, and to engage with others. Later at the coffee hour, introduce yourself to at least 3 new friends. Now,
you'll be hearing today, as well as Louise Hayes' theme song, I Love Myself the Way I Am. And they're all on CD Freedom River, available after the service, right back behind the altar. So please welcome Jai Josephs.
We're up. Thank you. I wasn't ready to start. Here we now I am. So this is a song that's kind of Eckhart Tolle meets Bob Marley. And I wrote it based on a Zen koan that I read when I was 19 years old. You all know what Zen koans are? Yeah, they're little sayings that like change your consciousness. And this Zen koan said, whatever you are thinking, wherever your mind is wandering, in this very moment, this. The birds are singing in the trees. Oh, the wind is blowing soft and sweet. Oh, in each flower you can see life divine, and in each spirit you can see the light shine. And in this very moment is all the love we need. In this very moment is truth and grace and peace. In this very moment, sometimes your feelings get you down. Oh, your mind can't find any way out. Oh, but can't you see it's just the future you fear? So take a breath and bring yourself right here, 'cause in this very moment is all the love we need. In this very moment is truth and grace and peace. In this very moment out until you tune into the miracle. 'Cause in this very moment is all the love we need. In this very moment is truth and grace and peace. In this very moment everything is complete. In this very moment Thank you.
love it that we can rock out to reggae on a Sunday morning. Thank you, Jai. Thank you, Bodhi. My name is Janet Carol Ryan, and it's my delight to share with you all of the wonderful things that are going on in this community. And I'll also remind you that your bulletin is filled with details, so I won't go into the details. I'm going to hit the highlights. And there's also a website and a weekly e-letter from Reverend Karyl, so there are many, many wonderful ways to get plugged in. And right now, I'm going to ask us all to plug into our gratitude for this beautiful community and all the ways that it enriches our lives, and to remember that this community is connected to a larger community of the Centers for Spiritual Living around the world, and that this past week our delegates represented us in that international community. So we offer our gratitude to the delegates that took time out of their lives and traveled to be our connection to that message and that community, which Reverend Karyl will share about a little bit later. But those who traveled were Bob Gordon, Melanie Texera, daughter of Reverend Karyl, and Reverend Karyl herself, and also our delegates, Katrina Paulson and Sue Ruda, voted on our behalf. So we thank them for representing us. And let's also offer our love and blessing to the children, and may they know the miracle that they are, the unrepeatable miracle in the face of God and the light of love their presence brings to our world. Thank you for being here, and dance in the sunshine today. Off to your lesson. Blessings. Speaking of sunshine and beautiful days, next week, next Sunday, you might consider dressing in some hiking attire, because the Spirit in Nature group will have its first official gathering. We'll gather outside on the patio and then go for a brief hike afterwards. So this is another opportunity to celebrate Spirit in our community in nature. The winter classes have begun. This past week, Francine Huss facilitated the first class of the foundational class. Now, if you've been considering this as a step to more fully integrate the principles of science and mind and your practice and to connect with community, there's still an opportunity to join the class. However, please let Francine know today so that she can prepare a space for you this coming Thursday evening. And change. Marilyn, please come share a bit about your class starting tomorrow night.
Thank you. Well, we know that on Sunday morning we feel, really, I hope you all feel like I do, everything is going my way. Then sometimes by Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, things happen in our lives and changes pop up. And we think, oh my gosh, and then we don't feel that way any longer. So I am teaching a class that's called Change, and it's about feeling all the time, about training our thinking, about healing limiting patterns, so that we really and authentically do feel like everything's going my way and changes happen for my good. It's like they give me the opportunity to unwrap these presents I didn't even know I had inside. There's still time to sign up. We start tomorrow night from 6:30 to 9:30 for 6 weeks on Mondays. Join me. You can sign up over there. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. In our community, we have the tools, the practices, the spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, ways to change our thinking and change our lives. And as we face the latter stages of our lives, often that can bring some areas of challenge. So we're blessed that we have a rich array of opportunities to take a really clear and conscious look at decisions that we are making as we are in the latter portion of life. And so, in that regard, our next step on that trail is called Estate Planning, Moving Through the Blocks. And this is an opportunity to have some loving support and a clear insight into the decisions that we may wish to make about distributing our lifetime accumulations to our loved ones at the time of our passing. So Reverend Karyl and Barbara Cox will be facilitating that. The information is in your bulletin. It's been rescheduled for March 13th, so there's still an opportunity to join up with that. On the 10th of March, which is a Sunday, our community is having our annual meeting. And this is a lovely event. It really is an event. You know, when I first joined this community, the annual meeting was, about 20 minutes long, and the board president went rapidly through all the events of the year, and then he went off to play golf. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. Well, we're doing a little bit differently now. We get to come together and celebrate our community, hear the good news, learn what's coming next, and have a borscht lunch. Mm-hmm. So those of you who are inclined to cook and prepare food, there is an opportunity for 2 additional borscht cooks if you'd like to sign up for that. Where's Pat Sandry? Is Pat here? Pat will assist in getting folks signed up at the events table. Is that right? Okay, good. And now I'd like to call Bob Gordon up to share a bit about his experience at the convention. Hey, Bob. Vancouver did well for you, huh? You look good.
Thank you, Janet. The past several years, I've been attending the National Convention as a delegate from Golden Gate and also a member of the legal team, working my rear off in getting all the documents ready and the votes, and it all went so well, culminating last year in an absolute vote of confidence and appreciation for the integration of the international and united branches. This year turned out there was nothing to do because it had already been done except for a few minor resolutions, and the feeling of unity in the organization was extraordinary, unlike our federal government. And everything just went well. The morale was incredible. A lot of workshops and seminars, wonderful. One of my favorites was a talk by Reverend Sherry about loving yourself. And after attending an hour and a half seminar on loving yourself, there's no way you couldn't. But one of the highlights of the convention was the election of certain ministers to a newly formed minister council, and it just came into existence. There was an election, and 6 people were elected to that council, 2 of them for a 1-year term, 2 for a 2-year term, and 2 for a 3-year term. And our own Reverend Karyl was one of those elected for a 3-year term, meaning she got the most votes. And what that means is that Reverend Karyl is one of 2 of the most respected ministers in the entire organization.
Oh, Bob, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bob. And for those of you who may be here for the very first time, we want you to know that there is a space of warmth and welcome here for you, and we entrust that you feel loved up, inspired, and held in that space. Please join Reverend Karyl at the Welcome Newcomer table after service to get a hug and get some more information, ways to get connected. And for now, just settle in and receive and know that we embrace you and we're grateful that you are here. And now, our very own shining star. You know, she is known far and wide, and we get to have her every single Sunday, or most Sundays, let's say. So let's give a warm welcome to our beloved Reverend Karyl.
Thank you, and thank you, Bob, for that wonderful way you put it. I'm honored to have been voted onto the Ministers' Council, and it's a very exciting time because the integration is proceeding, and not without some hiccups, as any new creation sometimes has, and that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about this morning. But before I get into this topic, I want to bring all of you along for the theme that we're working on this year, which is the New World and the Ancient Path. And what we're trying to show is that the wisdom from our ancestors meets this wisdom that is currently in the world, showing that a shift into the time of peace and prosperity for all has already happened. And there's evidence all around. And what happens for us is that we lean into that shift, and then we become a part of the increasing momentum of the new world. So to help us do this, we have this wonderful calendar, actually. This artwork is another wonderful expression of Jet Walker. And there are copies on the newcomers table and on the events table in a smaller version that you can take. So there are 52 spokes on this wheel of life, and each one represents a Sunday where we will be talking about topics from the perspective of spiritual truth, and also, this is part of the ancient wisdom, how spiritual truth fits into the calendar, the weather, the seasons. And so, in the darkness of the winter is the idea of conceiving the new year, conceiving what you will do that year, conceiving of the idea that will come to fruition during the year. And so that's what we did in January. And so the February theme is dedication. After we get the idea and we sit with it for a bit, and it seems to fit, and we are inspired to say yes, we say yes, and that's the dedication part of February, and then things start to happen. So what we have talked about so far in this dedication month, which we're completing today, is we planted the seeds, or we blessed the seeds, just like our ancestors did. We then talked about love, and it happened to be Valentine's Sunday, but the love of the infinite presence as inspired by the people and things we love in the world. And then last week, did you like Reverend Josephine? Was she great? Good. Oh, good. And she talked about wholeness, that we are created, spirit, mind, and body in absolute wholeness. So my title to complete this month of dedication today is called Changing Intention to Certainty. Now, this is not about believing harder so that you come to certainty. It's like, if I believe a little bit, then I'm dedicated, but then I really get certain. That's not it. What is it is that when we set an intention, something happens that causes this certainty to come to us. It's not something we even have to generate from within us. But when we get to the intention, what happens is that the world rearranges itself around us. In the book of Job, it says, "Thou shalt say a thing, and it will be established for you." That's what it says. It will be established for you. We don't have to live our life forcing things to happen. If we have conceived of a great idea, which is given to us by God, if we have this urge within us, which is planted there by God, to say yes, and then when we say yes, all of the means of accomplishing that thing are given to us by the infinite presence of God. It's all this wonderful system, and we don't have to force anything. But what happens is that not only does the universe rearrange itself around us, but we are rearranged on the inside. Have you noticed that? Because some of us wish that things could change around us, but we would just stay the same inside. Because it's just so much easier to stay the same inside instead of working to make those changes. Well, that's not the way it works. That's not the plan. That's not the pattern. It doesn't happen that way. You can want it, and it's not going to work. You have to change. So the ancient idea that seems to fit in this context, if you just work with me a little bit on this, is alchemy. So the alchemical process of cooking, when cooking really became an art, was thought of as magic, because you can stick a haunch of something on the fire, and it cooks it so you can chew it easier. But it takes a master or a magician to make it taste so fabulous that there is a party in your mouth. Now, many of us are foodies in Marin, and so the origin of cooking and recipes seems far, far from us because we've internalized a lot of it. But in the beginning, it really was an alchemical miracle to take flour and somehow make it into bread, or take a custard and somehow make it firm and delicious. And so the ancient keepers of the wisdom traditions often made their vocation to be a cook or a chef, because what happened was the methods for potions and for magic looked a lot like recipes, and so they just stuck them in the recipe books. And I actually have read a couple of books recently, one from the 1400s in Italy and one from the 1700s in America, and the technique was the same, that there's a chef, and in with the recipes there were sort of miracle recipes. And with a healer woman in the 1700s that didn't turn out too well in Salem, there were spells in her recipe book. And so all of this, the cooking and the change and the shift and the magic, all seem to be kind of the same thing, which is how it feels for us when we're changed on the inside. We feel like we are kneaded like dough, we feel like we are stirred in a pot, and we feel like we're cooked. And the change is as significant as literally scrambling eggs. Now, that's a really simple analogy, but when you take the runny eggs and you scramble them, they're changed forever, right? You're not going to get them back to the runny state no matter what you do. It is a permanent change. So that's what happens with the spells, and that's what happens with the cooking, and that's what happens with us on the inside when we make an intention, and then the life around us works us to become the person that can live the dream that we have said yes to. That's very important. We have to become the person that lives the dream that we have set for ourselves. One of the greatest speakers of the convention for me was one of the people that we brought in. He happens to be, I think, the best speaker in the United States. I mean, he's won those awards, Les Brown, and he's so fabulous. What he said, one of the wonderful things he said was, to do something you've never done before, you have to become someone you've never been before. Now, I want you to just take that in, because in a year from now, if you couldn't really recognize yourself because you had changed so much, that would be a huge internal movement. But that is literally what happens to us when we step into a dream. So I want you to try on an affirmation. I do not want you to say it yet. I only want you to say it at the end of the service if you really mean it. But here's what I want you to contemplate. Imagine saying, I am willing to become someone I have never been before in order to live my dream. Just imagine, just try it on so completely that you actually feel a little nervous. I am willing to become someone I have never been before in order to live my dream. You don't have to commit to that yet, but I want you to try it on. So, the word for today is initiation, because that's kind of what it feels like when we step into our dream. It's kind of like what happens every spring, and this is a wonderful Sandra Garibede altar. This is the path. The ribbon is our path in life through this transformation that happens in the spring. That's an initiation that happens to the land every single spring. And so that's why we have it this time of year, because initiation follows the natural thing that's going on in nature. So an initiation is an action that causes an important process to begin. An action that causes an important process to begin. And the process that we're talking about for you and for me is becoming a new expression. And so sometimes when we step into our dream, when we say, yep, I'm committed, it's my intention, I'm going there, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to become a new person, I am willing for the universe to support me in this, we get something that feels as scary as any initiation process of our ancestors. So I watched this happen at convention with a friend of ours. Many of us know Georgia Prescott, the minister in Sacramento, West Sacramento. So I don't believe Georgia had ever spoken for convention. She speaks to a large audience every Sunday. Her church is large, but she hadn't spoken to 400 of her peers before. So I was with her the night before her talk. And she was like a nervous bride, you know. She was, I think my talk is too basic. I'm afraid that my jokes aren't going to be funny. They want me to be funny. They want me to be deep and funny. They want me to have them laugh and cry at the same time. And she was like all up in a dither. And then the universe and everybody at convention initiated her into being a convention speaker. And she was brilliant. In fact, the spiritual leader, Ken Gordon, the spiritual leader who talked to us at the very end of the week, said something very funny and very true for ministers. He said, I have my personal evaluation system of speakers. And everybody laughed. He said, my personal evaluation of a speaker is how much can I take from their talk to make a talk of my own. And he said, I like it when I get one idea from a speaker, so it's a one talk. I can make one talk out of their talk. Then there is the two talks, where I can make two talks out of ideas that they had. And then if I get a 3 talk or a 4 talk, then it's great. And Georgia was absolutely a 4 talk speaker. And so, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to steal from her right and left. So anyway, that was her initiation. Well, I was initiated too, because I found out that I had a phone call. No, I found out that I had to give a little campaign speech, 20 minutes before the meeting. All the candidates had 3 minutes to talk. And I thought, oh gosh, I've said everything I need to say, what can I do? And then I got the idea, okay, I'll do a ritual. And in 20 minutes, but then we got in the room and they go, no, you don't have 3 minutes, you have 2 minutes. So I thought, wow, okay. So I got up there and I did a spontaneous 1.5 minute ritual. I've never done that before. That was my initiation. And then I knew how to do a spontaneous ritual in 1.5 minutes, so I got to do it a couple more times last week. But I'm going to do this one with you. Okay, this is what I did. So take your left hand. Your left hand, look at your left hand here. Your left hand represents your past. Okay? So now here's your right hand. And your right hand represents your future, past and future. So to me, I said, the message of Science of Mind is this. Take your right hand on the bottom and put your left hand on top like this. So when we come into Science of Mind, our future is sort of has a lid on it from our past. We are trying to live our future, but we are limited by our past. Then we have a new thought, and we have a shift so that the past supports our future growth. Now, then I said, take your palms and put them palm to palm with someone beside you, like this, palm to palm. Now lace your fingers. What we do here is share our past, our present, and our future. That's just what they did. That's just what they did. So, yeah, I got elected. So, I'm telling you, that wasn't me. That was the infinite presence working through me, having a lot of fun. I'm telling you, I had fun then, I had fun now. So, what we're really talking about is also called the hero's path or the hero's journey. Now, you're all heroes, whether you know it or not. And you came into this life to do something beautiful. Many things beautiful, actually. You accomplish things right on through your life until you stop breathing. But the idea is to do something beautiful and to change greatly on the inside, to change the world around you. So when we get an idea on the hero's path, it's a conceiving of the idea. We say yes to it in the dedication, and then you enter the hero's path. It's a very, very familiar plot line for everybody. Every single baby that goes from lying inert on its back or on its tummy to crawling goes through the hero's path. It is what we do on planet Earth. And in my book, which I believe is for sale in the bookstore, I wrote about it. The hero's journey, the hero's journey map is built into our core. When children play pretend games, they instinctually have the hero, the villain, the task, the challenge, and the victory. Fairy tales tell the story of the hero's journey in which the hero is tested and finally prevails. Each journey does not necessarily contain all of the elements, but the trial and victory model is constant. You can find this story in myth and fairy tales, but it is also the story of you as you live through the seasons and changes of your life. So then in the back, there is this circle here that shows the hero's journey. You can't see this, so I will describe it to you. So we go like this. And right about here, we have something called the winds of change. It's just when we have this feeling, oh, it's coming, something's coming. And you can, every single fairy tale and myth has this. And every single change in your own life has this. Something's coming. And then you have the dedication and you cross this, what I call the river of no return. And once you launch across this river of no return, somehow or other, you've got to make the whole journey. Sometimes we get stuck, and I'm going to talk about that. But then we go through the mountains, we go through the passes, we go through the struggles, and then we have other people that are around us. Some of them look like helpers, and some of them look like villains. Some of them look like really the worst kind of characters, and we do not like their interaction, but I'm telling you that the villains are often your greatest supporters because they're the ones that really cause us to grow on the inside. And then we have this portal that we go through, and once we go through the portal, that's the initiation. We are changed. We usually receive a gift of some kind. Sometimes it's just realization. Sometimes it's a wedding ring. Sometimes, that's the hero's journey. The whole wedding ceremony. The reason we keep doing it, it's the hero's journey. And then you return home, changed. That's it. That's the hero's journey. And we keep doing it, and we keep doing it, and we keep doing it. And usually sometime around the River of No Return, the Struggle Mountains, and the Foe, it gets hard. And I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it being hard. It's good if it's hard. It's good. The challenge, the growth, the change is good for us. And it makes the victory all the sweeter. So we started out with this song from Oklahoma. I've got a wonderful feeling everything's going my way. Well, that's the little feeling of the change, the winds of change. And the plot is pretty darn simple in Oklahoma, but Curly, who sings this song as he's riding through the cornfields, ends up with challenges in his relationship, an arrest, the whole conflict between cowboys and farmers. The cowboy and the farmer should be friends, and then I can sing them all. And then the whole issue of statehood of Oklahoma. So it goes right through personal and national and societal challenges before he gets the girl. It all works out, but that it wouldn't be interesting to us if there weren't challenges. So every single practitioner student, okay, you practitioners, here it is. Did you go through the hero's journey during prac training? Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't need to say any more about that. Growing through really big changes usually means that the lessons are difficult, and hard doesn't mean that anything is wrong. So, Ernest Holmes does not say that it has to be hard. But in the meditations at the end of the textbook, he talks about moving through things. So I'm just going to read you this one. This is on page 525, and it's called One with Perfect Action. I am one with perfect action. Everything that I do, say, or think is quickened into action through this right understanding and this correct knowing. The harmonious action of the great whole operates through me now and at all times. I am carried along by this right action and am compelled to do the right thing at the right time. There is nothing in me that can hinder this action from flowing through me. The action of God is the only action. Now, why would you pray this if you weren't thinking that you needed some right action and right timing in your life? So this is the kind of prayer that really works when you go to a practitioner and you say, I'm in a tough spot. The prayer is, help me to know there is guidance through my growth so that I can live my dream. Not make this easy and effortless. Do you see? I want you all to be heroes. I want you to go around that hero's journey many, many times. At the convention, somebody quoted Raymond Hollowell, who was a metaphysician of the last century. He said, whatever we attract, we require. Okay, let's write that one down. Whatever we attract, we require. I know. Some of you are going, ooh, and some of you are going, oh. It's true. So I'm telling you, it can be tough in the hero's journey in two ways. One is the way you want it to be tough, and one is the way you don't want it to be tough. The way that you want it to be tough is that when you're growing and moving, and you feel, I'm working on my growing edge here. I can identify the lessons. I'm not there yet, but I can identify the lessons that I am moving toward. I am going to master them. I can feel it. And with the divine right action that is moving in me and through me, I know I will get there. And you struggle and you don't. You know, whenever you practice a skill for the first time, nobody's good at it. And so you kind of screw up. Well, then you dust yourself off and say, this is my lesson. This is my growing edge. I'm in the struggle mountains. I am moving towards that portal of transformation. That's when it's tough and good. When it's tough and not good is when you're stuck. When you say, I've been doing this for too long. I have been at the upside of this mountain. I've been going up both ways. Up and down, and it's both up. So, when you're in the stuck place, it's because when I am in the stuck place, it is because I am resisting. It is because I can see the cause of my hurt outside me. It's because I think I'm being asked to do something I can't do. It's because I am tired of this challenge that I'm going through and I want it to be easy. It's because I see other people and I compare myself with other people and they have it easier than me. That's stuck. And you get cold in those struggle mountains. When you're stuck, the prayer is different. It is, move me. Let me be willing and let the energy of God move me. And then you lean into the journey and not resist it. You say, whatever this is, I am moving through it. I am putting one foot in front of the other every day. And I am headed for that portal of transformation. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, oh my gosh, I'm going to get some noises with this one. We can no longer afford the arrogance of our own low self-esteem. We fight for our limitations. We can't do that. We can no longer afford the arrogance of our own low self-esteem. So now try on that statement again. Just try it on. Don't say it yet. I am willing to become someone I have never been before in order to live my dream. So, in conclusion, this is my last story here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the dedication of our Centers for Spiritual Living as a whole. This is something that was said last year, and we have been going through some struggles. It was so interesting. Once you're elected, you kind of hear, you got to be patient. We go slow to go fast, and they've been worked, those leaders. So the dedication of Centers for Spiritual Living is to reach 100 million lives in the next 10 years around the world. That's the dedication. I'm buying into that. That is the dedication of the leadership. We are reaching 100 million lives in 10 years. Where are we now? The statistic is that weekly attendance, now who knows if this is right because they take this number on people who have reported, but they imagine that the weekly attendance in Centers for Spiritual Living is 26,373. That's a long way to 100 million. That's a long way. And that's a big dream. And we're already moving in that direction. So what happened that is so exciting at the convention is that we have a young minister, David Alexander, who has a church in Portland. He is a self-proclaimed geek. So he is a spiritual geek that loves those little knickknacks that we all turn off at the beginning of the service. And he is creating, with Home Office, a spiritual living app. So, yeah! So get this. This is so wonderful, because the spiritual living app will bring together all the stuff that we love in Marin. They're going to have all of the massage therapists, all the acupuncturists, all the whole food, all the nutritionists, all of the new ager anything, and all of the health nuts and the Centers for Spiritual Living in this app. So you can say, where are health foods around me, and it will show you a map. You click on it, and it'll tell you about the store. It'll tell you about the owner. You say, I've got an issue, and it'll go to practitioners. It'll go to practitioners and other healing modalities, and there'll be photographs, and there'll be bios, and it'll connect everybody who is like us, who can find the truth at a Centers for Spiritual Living, but they don't know it yet, but they all go to Whole Foods. So we are going to have a marketing tool for us that helps all cultural creatives find what they want. And the tagline is, connecting you to your whole self. And we will be there too. And so this is so perfect, because it's a gift for the world. It's a gift for the evolving world. It will market us. We will find our people. They will find us. We will get us a long way down the road to reaching 100 million people. And I am dedicated to doing my part to reaching 100 million people. I am dedicated to growing myself to accomplish my dreams. I am dedicated to growing my particular way so that I can bring the truth through these earth-based systems that I love to you. So, now I want you to say really quietly after I say it, I am willing to become someone I have never been before in order to live my dream. Okay, now that's on the way to really declaring it. Okay, we're inching up to this. How many are kind of pretty excited about screaming this? Okay, good, you're going to get your chance. So, in the Gospel of Philip, one of those Gospels that was in the clay pots in the cave in the desert, it says, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. So another wonderful quote that I got this week is, if I do what is easy, my life will be hard. If I do what is hard, my life will be easy. So, are you ready to say that? Anybody who's willing to say that, please stand up. I am willing to become. Okay? Yeah, not about life's hard. That'll all happen and y'all get through it. Okay? I am willing to become. Let's try this. I'll say it, then you say it. I am willing to become. I am willing to become. Someone I've never been before. Someone I've never been before. In order to live my dream. In order to live my dream. Oh my gosh. That's great. And you'll get to say it again. So sit down and let's do the inner work. Taking that great, great, great commitment. And if by chance you've said that and you're not quite sure what your dream is, you're just so willing to do it, but you're not quite sure what your dream is, start with, I would love to accomplish this. I would love to experience this. I would love to express this. and try on many things that you would love to do. And when there is something that is so filled with desire, the desire of expression, that it brings tears to your eyes and your heart cracks open, that is what you say yes to. That is what you dedicate your life to. That is what you say, holding this vision in front of me, I will do whatever it takes. And then all manner of things happen to support you. Unforeseen circumstances that you could not have chosen because you couldn't dream them up come into your life to support the dream coming true. For it is not only your dream, it is the calling forth of a world that is waiting for it. The calling forth of a world that wants you to shine because of the gifts you bring. And I declare and will remind anyone that wants me to remind them that life never brings you things just to frustrate you and to disappoint you. Always there is an opportunity for magnificence in everything that seems like a frustration or a disappointment. Because life is for you. Life loves you. Life calls forth the gifts that are within you and celebrates you as you give them. This is the way earth is set up. This is the way our interior life is set up in bringing forth into the world our beautiful, magnificent gifts. May every declaration that was made here this morning be made manifest. And so it is.
Jack Joseph.
You see how thrilling it is to witness someone's genius? That's what we just did. We all have it. So would the ushers now please prepare to receive the tithes and offerings. And each one of us, we're in such an open-hearted place, and that's exactly where it's good to give from. So knowing that as we give, we open those portals to receive. So if you would take your gift in your hands, or if you have already pledged and it's an automatic withdrawal and you might have one of those little cards that say I've already pledged, just hold that against your heart and realize that the giving to this vision, let's all give to the vision of reaching 100 million people, this empowering philosophy. If everyone in the world knew what we know today, it would be a really transformed world filled with love and connection. Let's give into that place today so that we know that our gift is magnified and pressed down and running over because it goes to support the divine law of love and connection. And so it is.
Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All day long I keep my mind stayed on spirit. All day long I keep my mind stayed on spirit. All day long I keep my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 So for all you people watching through the camera there, you can go to our website and just push that donate button and participate in this wonderful experience of giving. So as we have given, let us open our hearts to receive all of the blessings, the love and support for bringing our own dream into manifestation. And it is there. Blessed, blessed be. So remember, there are things to sign up for today and the bookstore to visit and Bob Plath to hug in the back there. Welcome back, Bob. I know you came last week too. Yay. And Janet, please pray us out, sweetheart.
Prayer table, and all of the practitioners here present enfolding the room with love and blessing. And please know that our practitioners in service are here to support you in the personal initiation into greater good. So absolutely, if you feel called to receive a prayer, join them at the prayer table. And here and now, in this very moment, I call forth the personal, specific blessing for each and every one of these beloved beings here in this room and those who are joining us on the internet, and all who are aligned with us in this divine intention, this dedication, this initiation that we have said yes to. Receptive and open to the divine all that is pouring through expression, pouring into our loving hearts, our open hands, to become more of itself in this world as the very light and the love that we are. I know that in fact this entire service has been a prayer, and that each and every one of us is an answer to this prayer. And we are supported as the past easily gives way to the future in this very moment by means of us. And so I give thanks for the fulfillment of this prayer, for the love that increases even now, for the light that becomes brighter even now, and simply knowing that the alchemy of spirit is making its way through us as us for our highest good. I say yes to it. I give thanks to it. I give thanks for it, and allow it to be. So it is. Amen.
So I invite you now to stand for this affirmation, which I did not get on PowerPoint this week since I was away, but just repeat after me if you would. I boldly step into my intention for my life.
I boldly step into my intention for my life.
I know that I am divinely supported with all I require.
I know I am divinely supported with all I require.
To become the new incarnation of the infinite presence as me. I am willing to become someone I have never been before in order to live my dream. Yes, there you go.